Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Wisdom Wednesday. How you doing? I hope everybody's up. I hope everybody has already started their day or getting ready to start their day. And understand, as I always say, you have a choice of how your day gonna go. So choose for it to go great. But anyway, this week has been crazy, but it's been a blessing. Had a chance on Monday to speak at my son's school to the eighth graders. He's in seventh grade, but had a chance to speak to the eighth graders, about 250 kids, and it was a blessing. As I say, whenever I speak, I get encouraged as well. And then on yesterday, I had a chance to speak to 600 students at a school in Muskegon, so I appreciate them as well if they follow me on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, because I told them make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. But today, I want to tell you a little bit what I spoke to them about. And some of you've heard this story before, but I was encouraged as I was working out today because it made me think. You know, I got kicked out of two different high schools. I graduated from an alternative school. You hear me say that all the time because that's my story. But one of the things that some people haven't heard me say is that second school that I got kicked out, I remember my mom and I going home, and I remember my mom going into the room and slamming the door. And I just heard her praying. I waited a little while and I knocked on the door, and she said, "Damon, just leave me alone. I don't know what you're going to do with your life." And I walked away, and I was in the living room and I was crying. I was sitting up and I was crying. I was crying, and I was hurt because my mother moved me from Cleveland to California when I was 11 years old. And the only reason why she did that, because she didn't know anybody in California, but she wanted to start a brand new life for me. She wanted me to have a life where I knew of no limits. But I think about that experience, and I think about her crying, and I think about today and this week. You know, yesterday I'm speaking to hundreds of kids in an auditorium, and I'm telling them that really the choices and decisions that they make, it matters. You know, I say that all the time. The choices and decisions that we make, they matter. But this is what I told them. I said, but the choices that you made in the past, they don't determine your future. It's the choices that you're going to make today, the choices that y'all going to make this morning, that's going to determine your future. You know, we've all messed up. You know, we all fall short. So nobody's walking this earth perfect. Only one perfect dude already did that, and that's none of us. And so we can't be perfect, and we can't allow trying to be perfect to paralyze us and not allow us to get better. You know, so I told those students, I said, man, your today determines your future, and the decisions you make are important. And then I told them this. I said, man, I could have never imagined when my mother was in the room crying and just praying to God, just asking him, you know, help my son, help him understand that what he's doing is affecting his life. You know, see, I think back to that story, but I think about how I had to go through that. See, it's the things that you're going through right now that you have to go through. Because then it's going to build you into the person that you need to be so you can be a testimony to others. So you can tell others how it's possible to make it through. See, every day in my job, that's what I get an opportunity to do. I get to work with student athletes and non-student athletes and tell them that everything they're doing, it matters. And when they do it, understand there's a reason that they're going through it. And right now, you may not understand the reason. See, I didn't understand the reason back then, but I understand it now. I understand now. I got a better appreciation of those decisions and choices that I make. But I had to go through it. So family, it's some things that you're going through that you just gotta go through. But you can't give up. And you gotta know that once you make it through, it's not easy making it through, but once you make it through, you're gonna see God's glory at the end. And you're gonna get into your purpose, what you were put on this earth to do. So I hope you listen to this message. I hope you share this message. It's going to be attached to YouTube. I hope you subscribe to my channel because eventually that's where all these messages are going to be on my YouTube channel. So I just want to encourage you today and just tell you, you can do it. All right. Have a phenomenal day. Live extraordinary or live ordinary is your choice.